Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Underdog Eats on the Reviews and I watched 10 Cloverfield Lane tagline. Monsters come in many forms. Yes, they sure do. I like this one definitely more than Cloverfield. You know, this one was way more fun. Also John Goodman. Yeah, John Goodman was also in this movie. I didn't expect him in this movie. Well, probably his name came on screen, but I didn't notice. But it was a good movie. Shit, it was. Shit, it usually comes at the end, but it was an enjoyable movie. Yesterday was my birthday. Yes, 27 years old. I went to a comedian. His name is Derek. I think YouTube he's called Let's Double Dutch. And it was nice, it was funny. I like it. He's coming from America, he came to Netherlands, moved to Netherlands, he's married to a guy from here in the Netherlands, so it's nice to see a comedian. He was funny, he was interactive with the audience, and this was, like he said, a kind of a practice, because this is to see what sticks, and what doesn't stick, what kind of jokes stick, for his next coming show, that is a big show, this was kind of a test audience, something like that. I don't know. He explained it better than I can. That said, subscribe to Let's Double Dutch. And let's start with 10 Cloverfield Lane. Also, before I start actually, I was thinking, it's the new month, so I think the one will drop probably a video in the next coming days. So subscribe to the channel if you want to see my reaction to I think the one. I think, which one it's right now? The newest one, Maybe it's 69, no wait. 67, because I think the last one was the 66th, or is it 68? Somewhere in the end 60s. But let's just start with the movie, because you're here for that fucking movie. You don't care about that. Maybe. We see maybe a city? I don't know. And the camera goes back through the walls, and slowly goes to the left. We see a kind of sketch of the clothing, and we see a photo of a woman and a man, maybe on a dresser, and the photo fell over because it was a bit shaken. We see then a woman, hastily packing things, inside the box, inside the suitcase, and she looks at her phone. She's thinking, and then she takes it and makes a ring. Well, it's not it's this kind of phone and not this kind of phone. So she talks. We see her talk. We don't hear anything. Well, we hear maybe, well, it's not music. It's more like a white noise sound. It's more like a sound, something, but we don't hear her speak, we just see her mouthing, and then she takes, she hangs up, takes a bottle of alcohol. I couldn't, yeah, I could have read what the label was, but I didn't pass it. But she took a bottle of alcohol, probably put it in a box, took the box, and then left, leaving behind the keys and her ring. I'm gonna leave it at that, because if you don't know what's gonna happen next, watch the movie yourself. Like I said, this was a good movie. I enjoyed this movie. It was really, kept me a bit on edge from, okay, what's gonna happen next, The last movie, Cloverfield, it was not as fun as this movie. And it's called Cloverfield Lane apparently because the rest of the movie is about 10 Cloverfield, which is the address. Yeah. It was just a very enjoyable movie. I don't know what else to say actually. Yeah. Oh, wait, I've written something down. I haven't eaten yet, come on. It's 8:15 p.m. and I haven't eaten dinner yet, so a bit distracted. We saw Frank and Mildred, who were pigs, and Howard, played by John Goodman, said, yeah, that's due to the contagious air. Well, from what we know from Cloverfield, it's that it are monsters. But, a bit later we saw a lady and she was kinda, misformed. And Salva, I just touched it for a second, I barely touched it. And we thought, touched what? Because, we don't have a context yet from what the fuck she's talking about. Touched what? Finding out later that he was actually kind of right. But I was also right, There were definitely monsters, but apparently some flying monster lets out a kind of a green gas. And that's probably what she touched and, got all misformed, all, I don't know, it was all red and, I don't know, turns out, well, turns out Howard was a kind of a conspiracy nut. Or that Emmett said, a black belt in conspiracy theories. Well, he had a ton of acid. And now he kind of went crazy after he shot Emmett. So she kicked, to escape. She kicked over the ton with acid. Specific kind of acid. That fell over, and then he fell. Howard fell, and landed. With half face right in the acid. Very nice, because he deserved it. He kind of deserved it, especially if you try to escape, who gives a fuck then about, the abductee? If he gets acids over him or gets shot or something, or is that, it's basically self-defense, isn't it? If you got abducted or kidnapped, that said, like I said at the beginning of the movie, this movie was way better than the first movie. I enjoyed this movie way better, way more, not way better. I enjoyed this movie way more than the first movie, so the score definitely goes up from the first movie. I think I gave the first movie a 3 out of 5, and if I didn't, it deserves a 3 out of 5, or even a high to low 3. That said, this movie, 4 out of 5. Yeah, I think a 4 out of 5 will suit it. If you haven't watched the movie, go watch the movie yourself, because this is definitely, if you watch the Cloverfield, I think it doesn't really matter if you haven't watched Cloverfield. It probably does, but just watch Cloverfield first, then go watch Cloverfield Lane, because this movie is definitely enjoyable. Tomorrow we're gonna get Cloverfield Paradox. Hopefully it's a continuation of where this movie left off. And also I will do the day after tomorrow, because I took the day off tomorrow, because it's gonna be hot. Today it was 26 degrees. Well, here in the Netherlands, that's hot. It's fucking hot. Tomorrow it's gonna be 22 degrees. I'd rather not. So, that's it. I'm gonna leave it at that. Later you get Fiona and Cake, episode 8, called Jerry. I didn't do it yesterday because I didn't have really time. So today we're gonna watch Jerry. And tomorrow, episode 9. And see you guys tomorrow or later.